They dumped garbage on my land, so I gave them a smoke show they'll never forget. I was standing on my back porch that morning, robe flapping in the breeze, coffee in hand, trying to wrap my head around what I was seeing. A mountain of garbage had appeared overnight. Old lumber, broken chairs, soaked cardboard, busted sprinkler heads, and a rotting mattress with stains that made my stomach turn. The smell hit me from 10 feet away, and I've lived through engine fires and a raccoon infestation. This was worse. I didn't put it there. I didn't order it. And my nearest neighbor, Mrs. Everly, had moved to Arizona last month. So I checked my motion camera footage. There they were. 3 people in matching windbreakers embroidered with Clearview HOA Unity through order. They pulled up at 2:17 a.m. with a landscaping trailer and dumped the trash over my fence like it was just another job. I knew what this was. Punishment. Retaliation. See, a few weeks back, I had refused to support Clearview HOA's latest cash grab, a so-called community enhancement fee. A fancy way to charge every homeowner an extra $650 annually for metal sculptures and pointless landscaping. At the meeting, I said what others were thinking, that we didn't need topiary dolphins or LED-lit fountains. I said it calmly, respectfully, but the response? President Beverly Coleman stared at me like I'd spit in the punch bowl. Her right-hand man, Grant Porter, muttered something about me being toxic to neighborhood unity. The next day, I got a notice, fine for a hedge violation. Funny, since I'd trimmed them 2 days before. Then came warnings, then letters saying I was under monitoring. So yeah, I wasn't surprised they dumped garbage on my property. But I was furious. What they didn't know, what none of them knew, was that I wasn't just a retired widower with time on my hands. My name is Raymond Hale. I'm 73 years old, and I spent 4 decades as a combustion engineer for the U.S. Navy. I designed systems to incinerate waste cleanly in remote climates. Arctic stations.
Desert bases.
Underground facilities. You think you're gonna break me with a pile of rotted junk? No, you've just given me a reason to tinker. That same day, I called my friend Earl, an old HVAC technician, and said, "Bring your tools. We're building something." By nightfall, we'd sketched out plans. Within 48 hours, parts were ordered. I was designing a self-contained burn unit. Legal, efficient, glorious. Every component compliant with municipal burn ordinances. Every inch within regulation. They'd brought garbage to my doorstep. I'd give them a controlled inferno. They thought I'd be quiet. They thought I'd be scared. They were wrong. See, I didn't come back to Clearview for confrontation. After Elaine passed, I returned because it felt familiar. We bought this place in 1981. Back then, the HOA was just a few friendly retirees organizing pancake breakfasts.
No threats. No fines.
Just neighbors helping neighbors. But times changed. Now it was a regime. Beverly Coleman, real estate broker turned iron-fisted president, had turned our HOA into her personal fiefdom. Along with Grant and their bulldog secretary Rhonda, she ruled with clipboards and citations. When I moved back, Beverly welcomed me with an 18-page document and a scowl. "We run a tight ship here," she said. "We expect participation." That first week, I got cited for my mailbox being non-standard. It was steel, custom-welded, weatherproof, and raccoon-proof. Too industrial, apparently. Then my garage door, wooden, varnished, handmade by my grandson and me, clashed with the visual aesthetic. I trimmed my hedges every 2 weeks. Rhonda filed a violation for asymmetrical trimming. I tried to play nice. Went to a meeting. Suggested we use funds to maintain walking trails. Beverly cut me off. "We have a vision, Mr. Hale, and it doesn't include contrarians." I bit my tongue.
Istaya civil.
Until the enhancement fee. That's when I learned I wasn't alone. My neighbor Isaac was fined for leaving a basketball on his porch. Nancy got a warning about her wind chimes. Alan, 3 houses down, was cited for painting his fence without pre-approval. This wasn't order. It was a power trip. Then one morning, I noticed the fence line on my west side was off. I pulled out my original survey from 1981. Sure enough, 2 feet of my yard had been marked as HOA land. I confronted Grant. He smirked. Land use is dynamic, Ray. Maybe you just haven't adjusted. I filed for a copy of the updated plat map. Denied. Requires subcommittee approval, they said. That night I called a land attorney. Then came the garbage. And that was it. I'd had enough. They wanted compliance. They'd get a response instead. The burn unit was compact, reinforced, and powered by filtered propane. It met every standard down to the last bolt. My old crew came together. Earl handled the airflow dynamics. Sheila from 2 blocks over handled permitting. She used to work for city zoning. And Terrence, a retired firefighter, inspected for safety. The unit would go live Thursday morning, right during the HOA's weekly clubhouse meeting. Every puff of smoke drifting toward their fancy windows? 100% legal. 100% intentional. But they weren't done escalating. The day before activation, my power was shut off. No notice.
No fault.
I checked the external breaker panel, tampered. Lock broken. I set up a camera. That night, I caught Grant on tape. The next morning, my dog, Baxter, was gone from the backyard. I found him on a leash in Beverly's grip. Unattended animal, she said. Safety violation. That's theft. Call it what you want, she smiled. I did. Sheila called in a favor at animal control. Baxter was returned within hours. That weekend, they held a mandatory volunteer day. When I didn't show up early enough, they assigned me to clean debris behind the tennis courts with a broken rake. I didn't complain. I took photos. Then came the final blow. I came home from a VA appointment to find my backyard leveled. Shed flattened. Foundation torn up. A laminated notice fluttered in the wind. Emergency reclamation. Encroachment on common land. Approved via special HOA vote. I stood there, staring at the ruins. 40 years of tools. My blueprints. Gone. That night I made my calls. By Sunday, 34 neighbors had gathered in my garage. We drank coffee. I laid out evidence, video, surveys, violations. I showed them the truth. No drama.
No yelling.
Just facts. And then I unveiled what remained of the burn unit. This is what they feared, I said. Not fire. Not smoke. Resistance. Truth. Isaac stood. What do you need? We were no longer just neighbors. We were a coalition. Thursday arrived. 5:57 p.m. I entered the clubhouse with my VFW jacket and a rolling case. Beverly sat at the head, pearls on her neck, clipboard in hand. Let's begin, she said. Before we start, I said, I request the floor. She tried to dismiss me. I cited the bylaws, open floor for any member with quorum approval. Approval was unanimous. I wheeled to the front, opened my binder, and began. Original survey, altered map, bylaw violations, tampering footage,
Paid theft.
property destruction. I ended with one final image. My destroyed shed. I'm rebuilding, I said. With permits. With backing. And you won't stop me. Beverly tried to speak. Sheila stood. I second Mr. Hale's motion. So did Isaac. Nancy. Alan. Dozens. I handed over a cease and desist from my lawyer. The room erupted. Within days, the news picked it up. Veteran outsmarts HOA tyrants. My face, sunburned and smiling, was on the evening segment. City inspectors followed. Investigations launched. Turns out Beverly had funneled thousands into a fake landscaping fund. She was removed, fined, and banned from HOA leadership. Grant, charged with trespassing and tampering. The HOA was dissolved within 2 months, replaced by a volunteer council. My shed? Rebuilt. Better. Stronger. Baxter's face painted on the side with a flight helmet. Every Thursday at 8 a.m., we light up the burn unit. Old junk, approved waste, and community mailers that no longer matter. The smoke curls up, soft and steady, just enough to drift past the old clubhouse, now a community tool shed and book swap. We call it Burn Back Hour. We sit in lawn chairs, Play old jazz. Drink coffee. Kids laugh. Adults talk. Clearview is no longer perfect, but it's ours again. And as long as I've got breath and blueprint paper, I'll remind everyone, respect is earned. And sometimes, justice comes with a little smoke.